Hey, Taki here, hope you're great. The goal for this YouTube channel has always been that it's really useful for you and really fun. Fun for you for sure, also fun for me, because if it's fun, it's sustainable and I'll be able to do this for years. I want to test out a new format to see if it's even more fun and even more useful. If it is, we might do this every now and again. So a week ago, I put a link in the description under last week's video and saying, hey, if you've got a question for me, click asktaki.com and shoot me a little question and I'll answer it on an upcoming vid. Today's the day. I get heaps of DMs every single day from coaches with a bunch of questions. I can't answer them all in the DMs because then I'd be in the DMs all the time, which I don't want to be. I'm going to have a look at some questions a few have come through and answer them. And if you've got a question for me, there's a same link in the description below. You can ask me a question too. Today's video is sponsored by the iPhone 13 mini, greatest iPhone ever made. RIP, very sad. But I've got a question on it. Looks like maybe Aaron. Let's have a look.
Hey, Taki, Aaron Bailey. I help coaches, coach coaches, and I've been doing it for a long time. I've worked with some big clients like Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, and stuff. Problem is, I have been doing everything done for you, but also not like agency, just like, I work with a few clients at a time. And so I just get stuck at that couple $100,000 a year because I'm doing it for them, making millions. So, but making hundreds for myself. So, I've struggled. I know how to do it, but like I've struggled with transitioning, putting myself out there, switching to coaching coaches to coach coaches publicly, actually being a coach, not a done for you. So what are your suggestions for making that happen, making that jump, making the switch?
Aaron, my man. I got a lot to say about this. First up, switching from something to from one-on-one to a group model, it's a 6-week process. The first 5.5 weeks is you shitting yourself because you're terrified that it's not going to work. Then you do it, and the last 3 days of the week is you going, why the hell didn't I do this 6 weeks ago? So I got your back. It sounds like you know how to do it, like what the mechanics are of the delivery, so I'm going to leave that alone. Let's talk about what's really going on. Right now, when somebody comes to you, they get to the point in the sales process where you say, well, how does it work? And you're used to saying, well, I do this and I do this and I do this. Just before you say the bit about how it works, stop yourself and say the new thing instead. I know it sounds really dumb and really simple, but all you need to do is, it's just like when you raise your price, instead of saying it's $2,000, you now say it's $3,000, you're just swapping out words. If you're not sure, write it down somewhere. So you got some notes and read them the new offer instead. They'll say yes. The only reason they're currently saying yes to your done for you offer is because you keep telling them about it. If you still want to have both, make sure the done for you is like just 3x your price. So we can focus on this one. If somebody wants to pay you 3 times what you're making right now, you're probably happy to receive the money. So that's the first thing. You're never going to get something scalable as long as you're on the tools. I don't think you need any how. I think you just need a decision. You've been thinking about this for a long, long time. So here's your decision. Write down what the new offer is, have it in front of you, and the very next prospect that you talk to, the very next opportunity, if it's someone you'd like to work with, say the new words. Hey, Aaron, one more thing, just remembered. If you want to switch to a group model, but you're worried you don't have a group yet, because it's just your first dude, here's what you say. So what we're going to do is we're going to start you off one-on-one until I think you're ready to meet the rest of the gang. When you've got the rest of the gang, then they're ready to meet the rest of the gang. Hope that helps. Next one's from Anonymous.
Hey, Taki, my question. My name is Vishal Sarkar. I'm a public speaking coach, and I also help leaders holistically grow in 8 areas of life.
Okay, already we've got 2 different niches, yellow flags, red flags if I'm being super honest.
So my level 1 program and level 2 program is about like public speaking, and then we have a higher end mastermind for life transformation.
I'd like to retract my earlier statement.
The problem that I'm facing is that until people come to our level 3, our profit margin is not that high because of a lot of lead cost. We are spending around $35,000 a month on Facebook and Google ads through an agency and media buyers. So my question is, how do I get people to not go through level 1, level 2, and then level 3? How do I get people directly to level 3 without going through level 1 and level 2? Without having a sales or closer.
All right, man. So we've got 2 things to solve here. The first part of that was how do we get people to buy level 3 without having jumped through, levels 1 and level 2. People are buying level 3, doing step 1, step 2, and then step 3 because that's what we're getting them to do. And the truth is that your best clients probably don't want, like, aren't even buying right now because they don't want level 1 and they don't want level 2. They just want the best thing. I know when I find something online that I love, like, I don't want the tripwire, I don't want the medium price thing. I'll find a way to DM the owner and go, hey, what's the best thing you've got? I did it yesterday. I found a guy whose stuff I think is great. And I was like, hey, can I buy some consulting? Or what have you got? What's the best thing that you've got for someone like me? Your best prospects don't want level 1 or level 2. They just want the best thing. And we're slowing them down. We think it speeds up the flow, but it actually gets in the way of the people you really want. So what I would say is just cut those two off and just sell the big thing. The second part of your question was about how can we do all of that without a sales team? I think it's a smart move for 2 reasons. Firstly, and the one you're maybe thinking about, is like the sales commission involved. I think that's a factor, but I don't think it's the big deal. In order to get somebody to buy on a sales call, they've got to land on a scheduling page and book a call. Then they've got to show up for the call. If you've got a 2-call close, they've got to do that whole cycle again. And then they've got to hear the offer and buy. And so you think there's some steps for people to go through. But what we don't realize is that most of the people who land on this page don't book a call. And then some of them don't show. And so very small percentage of the people that you want see the offer. We got rid of all of that stuff about 6 months ago. And now everybody sees the offer and they've got an opportunity to say yes to it or no to it, okay? It tells very clearly who it's for, who it's not for, and all that stuff. I've got a video about how to sell without a sales team. You should watch that. It's gonna really, really help. I got a question here from a dude called Bren, who's got his kid in the background.
Hey Taki, loving the new Ask Taki feature. Bren Ward here, coming to you from a pretty rainy day in Dublin, Ireland. I coach accounting firm owners to help them build a business that runs without them. And I was just curious, you've got 3 different offers between clients, black belt and boardroom. I was just curious how you go about structuring how the cadence or the rhythm of when you offer those different programs to your email list. Because I'm assuming, or do you segment your email list and then kind of run them all at the same time? But I just wondered, if you have one main email list, how do you guys throughout the month or throughout the year set that rhythm? Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Okay, this is good. Should you segment? Yes. Is it better when you segment? Yes. Is it easier when you segment? Not really, because then you've got to have somebody writing the campaigns for all of the groups. So here's how we structure it. If you think about a month, and the average month has 4 weeks, I know there's some with a little bit more, but if you think about a month, and we've got week 1, 2, 3, and 4, that gives us 4 offer cycles, right? 4 opportunities to promote a new thing, and we kind of theme them by week. And so for each week, we think about what's the offer, what's the product we're selling, and then what's the theme that we're going to use that week to promote it. Because if every week is like, hey, buy black belt again, buy black belt again, it gets pretty old pretty quick, okay? So the way we do it is, you're right, we've got 3 programs. By the way, if you're under $1 million a year, I know you're not, but if you're under $1 million a year and you've got multiple programs, the main reason you're under $1 million a year is because you've got too many things you're trying to sell. Focus in. If you're over $1 million a year, I'll allow it. Let's do this. So we just theme 1 product per week. And so we might have boardroom for a week, which is for people doing $1 million a year or more. Then we have black belt for people doing 6 figures, want to get to 7. We've got clients, which is for people who want to launch their coaching business, get it to 10K a month consistently, which leaves an empty week. And the empty week is where we run a workshop. So we just cycle through. Each week, 1 core offer. If you don't have, I think a workshop's a super great monthly ad. But if you've got 2 products and we've got like an empty week, for example, you can either sell a product or do what I like to call Club Random. And Club Random is where I write about whatever the hell I want to write about, and I just put the super signature at the bottom and it's fun. So we've got 1 offer a week and we just cycle through. And then each week, to keep it fresh, we just go, okay, well, what part of for example, the black belt model, attract, convert, deliver, and the 3 subtopics around each, do I want to focus in on that week? And so that way, each week we're focusing on a different offer, black belt boardroom clients, workshop, and then what's the subtopic around that? And that way, it keeps it fresh. It means you've always got to focus, which I really like personally, as I'm kind of writing the emails or shooting the videos. We touch all the bases across the month. It's not perfect because if you're talking to the big guys, the little guys miss out, but that's okay. What you'll find that I found really interesting is when you talk, like if I'm talking about boardroom, a lot of black belt people will aspire and it'll get them interested and they'll enter the black belt funnel at the same time. It doesn't work the same way if I'm promoting clients that, for the startup guys, the big guys kind of tune it out. And so that's the downside of not segmenting. Anyway, that's how we do it. One offer per week and a different theme. Each black belt week is a different theme, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. I've got one here from Dave.
Hey, Taki, Dave McGee in New York City. It's 6:30 in
How good's the accent? Shout out to New York.
the morning here, and I'm just reading your daily email like I do every single day. My burning question is this: when are you going to start the next clients course? I got cash in hand. It's
Oh man. I've got like 4 questions asking the same thing, so I've skipped through. I'll answer it. I will release the client's course when it's ready. And it's not ready yet, but as soon as it is, I'll let you know. Next question.
I'm a YouTube.
Tell me.
I used to be a YouTube funnels marketing agency owner. Done for you. I help other coaches, consultant build a YouTube channel for them, script ideation, thumbnails, editing, channel management, all that stuff. I don't believe in that anymore because why am I building your channel? You should build your own channel, but I can help you, right? So I get most of my clients on my own YouTube channel. And I used to do a lot of how-to content. That's how I get clients, like how to do thumbnails, how to do funnels, how to do this and that. So I did consulting, but I never really had a coaching program. Now I do, and I have a few clients paying for that. Now I need to change my content strategy. So instead of more how-to something that you're kind of doing on your YouTube channel, which is clearly working. So how do we show that we know what we're talking about, but don't give everything away for free?
Oh, this is a great question. Okay, here's the first thing I got a lot I want to say about this. Number one, this belief that if I give away too much stuff, people won't need me anymore is just so completely wrong. There's this great dude, he's in the YouTube space as well. His name's Caleb Rolston. Freaking love this guy. He launched on YouTube, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and he launched a 6-hour course as his first, like that was his only video, 6 hours, the whole how-to, super tactical. It's got like, I don't know, 130, 150,000 views, and he's had like 9,000 leads requesting to find out more about working with him. When you give freely of the information, you earn a right to charge a premium for implementation. Don't be worried about giving away the how. In fact, the very best strategy you can do is show people exactly how to do all of the detail. And people are watching this stuff to see that it can be done. Some people will do it themselves, and that's cool. But most people are like, holy crap, that looks like a lot of work, but it looks like you know what you're doing, and they'll just hire you. So don't shy away from the how-to, give them the stuff. The only other thing I would say, content strategy-wise, is 4 kinds of content we're gonna share. Connection content, which answers the, do I like you question. Share your work, share your backstory, share your life. A little bit, otherwise you're a vlogger, right? Value content, or what you call how-to content. This just shows that you've got a system and a plan. Proof content, show me that it really works. So give me examples of people you worked with that's really helped. And this answers the, okay, well, will it work for me question. And then invitation. Show people what they can do next with you. So there's an invitation for some kind of free resource, a lead magnet or a GPT, a training or an event with you. Like, I don't know if you've seen the $1 Million Plan training I put together, which is like here's how we take a 6-figure coach and help them grow to 7 figures. There's a link in the description, just like that. Or a direct invitation to work with you. They're the 4 pieces of content that you should be running, but don't shy away from the how-to stuff. I think the one change I would make, like, it's less about what you share and more about how you share it. I got this from a great client of ours called Laura, and she said, less how-to, more how I, or how we. I used to do very how-to because it felt like it was more about them. The downside of how-to is sometimes it feels a bit preachy, like this is the 7 things that you must do. That's not a great tone. So how we is like, oh, here's this thing that we figured out. Here's what I'm doing right now, so you can copy it. Or here's how I help this client do the same thing. How I, not how to, is nice. Hopefully that's useful.
Hey, Taki. This is Peter Wilson. I have Biz Marketing. It's a marketing agency. We've been around for 13 years. We've got about 150 clients. We don't formally have coaching as a offering in our services. We've got primarily regular online digital type services with some specialized consulting that we do for branding and messaging and things like that. I'm trying to add coaching. We're already doing it naturally, but it's not a formalized service. Wondering if you could point me in the direction of a resource or, somebody that I could look at in terms of how to add coaching to an already relatively successful marketing agency. Appreciate your help and love your stuff. Thanks, Taki.
All right, so we've got an agency that's doing really well and we want to add coaching to it. The big thing I want you to get is that effectively we've got 2 offers, but it's the same core audience. In other words, in your marketing and your content, we're talking about the same set of problems that you solve agency-wise. We're just offering a different product. And what you'll find is that it's the same core audience, but it's 2 different buyers. There's people who want it done and people who want to learn how to do it. And they're not the same people. So in my world, I'm learning about YouTube right now, as you could probably tell. I'm not very good at it yet, but we're getting there. And I've learned a bunch to help me with this stuff, but I've also hired a few people to help me with their hands. So I've got strategy that I'm learning from someone who's a few steps ahead of me. And then I've got a videographer, Sean, who's over there, editors, people to help with like thumbnails and that sort of stuff. So it's the same core audience, but it's 2 different buyers. And so the way I would do it, I would keep my marketing going if that's successful. When somebody applies to work with you or when you're qualifying, however you do that right now, just a simple step, just asking people, are you looking for someone to do this for you? Like take care of it. Do you want to learn how to do it and have it? Or do you want someone to do it with you and kind of coach you through? It's the same funnel. We're just going to split buyers into 1 or 3 buckets and offer them the right solution based on that. Front end doesn't change a whole lot, but the middle of funnel, bottom of funnel will change a ton. You just kind of fork people into one of the directions that you want to take them. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does.
Hey Taki, it's Leon here. I'm a business coach. I help coaches that have and businesses that have stalled in their manual tasking, if you like, and are looking at implementing an operating system that can help leverage their time. My question today is about events and selling from events, and specifically my question is, in your experience, is it better to have a low ticket event and then ascend and use that event as a sales opportunity, or to actually use the price of the event to qualify the right people and have it as a higher ticket that includes ongoing support and ongoing introduction into the program?
So low ticket, high ticket event. I think part of this depends on the price of your offer and part of it depends on the size of your audience, kind of the authority you've got in the space. When I first got started, we used to run 3 events a year in Australia, 3 in the States, 1 in London, 7 events a year. And they were priced low. They were $197 for 2 days. Cheap as chips. But we consistently convert 35 to 40% of the people into a 25, 30K program at the end. And I know from testing, even when I raised the price to $500, yes, we converted a higher percentage of the room, but it was way harder to fill the room. So if you're getting started, I reckon go low and then upgrade from there. Would I do that now? No, I probably wouldn't, because I'm lazy. I would sell a $5,000 or $10,000 thing. We've had in the last year, we've had $8,000 events. We've had a $12,000 event. We've had a $20,000 event. Much smaller room size, 10 to 25 people, but I'm talking fucking more now and I can do what I want, right? If you're just getting started, I reckon we go low. The variables would be, if the product you've got is reassuringly expensive, then the front end probably wants to be reassuringly expensive as well. But if I was getting started, my general advice would be paid, but super doable so that it can be an impulse buy for the right kind of people if they're just checking you out. If you've got a bunch of authority and they know you, man, you can go hell for leather. All right, message from Casey. Looks like he's in the woods.
Hey Taki, it's Casey, and I train marketers and technologists on how to be fractional CMOs and fractional CTOs. And my question is around where to get good traffic these days. So we're finding that Google search traffic, which used to be a great performer for us, is going down because of the AI snippets. People are getting their answer on Google with Google's rich snippet. And I'm just am not loving what's happening right now on PPC. So I believe that the answer is likely just scaling PPC, but I'm wondering what offers you're finding are working well. Is it lead magnet with long-term engagement over the course of maybe a year to get these folks in? Or is there something that we can do to accelerate that faster, maybe with free or paid workshops, webinars, things like that? This is for an astute market, so I think one of those fake webinars won't work. So I'm wondering what approach you have that will work.
Dude, this is a great question. Okay, so I heard a lot here. I'm glad you separated channel and offer. I want to talk about the offer because I think that's the variable you've got a lot of control over. You talked about lead magnets with a slow burn, stay with people for a year and eventually they'll buy. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing afterwards. So I want to give you a couple of lead magnet things, then let's talk about the workshop piece and then the one piece that underpins the whole thing. Number one, traditional lead magnets are dead. Your ultimate guide to blah, 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 blah. Nobody's got time for that. People want instant result and they don't want to learn stuff. They just want to get an outcome. So we've switched all of our lead magnets to micromagnets, something that I can consume in a minute or two, not just consume, but get the outcome in a couple of minutes. So a lot of our lead magnets, micromagnets now, are custom GPTs that deliver an outcome fast. You don't have to learn a damn thing. You have to answer like 2 or 3 quick questions by voice, and it spits you back the thing you really, really want, the outcome. Get out of learning mode. Nobody wants the Encyclopedia Britannica. Just give them the fastest path to the result, whether it's a GPT or it's a checklist or it's an SOP or whatever, depending on your market. Like you, we've got a really astute buyer. The coaching industry is pretty seasoned now and they've seen all the tricks. So we're not going to do a fake webinar, but I do love once a month paid workshop. The moment you do paid, 2 things happen. Number one, people take it seriously and they actually show up. And number 2, all of the broke tie kickers don't come because the difference between 0, like free, and $1 is massive. We charge about $100 for ours. And we went from like 5% of the people who registered and showed up being qualified to 55% just by charging. So it's a higher value and you get great show up rate of the right people. I think that's something I would 100% add into the mix. The way you speed the buyer journey up is partly about what happens after somebody opts in. On our micromagnets, on our GPTs, for example, at the end, there's a link to go watch the VSL, which shows people how to grow their coaching business. So we're shrinking down the time for the people who want the fast path. It's like, hey, I've got this thing that was really helpful. If you like that, you'll like more, straight into a conversion system. The thing that underpins this whole process though, is you're putting a lot of effort into getting the lead. The opportunity isn't in the now buyer, it's in the future buyer. And I used to think that it was about how long somebody's on your list, that like slow burn 12-month thing that you're talking about. And if we love on people long enough, eventually they'll buy. The reason we're all in on YouTube is because I'm trying to increase not just time on list, but time on brand, the number of mind minutes somebody spends on your brand, whether it's reading an email or it's watching a video or it's listening to you on a podcast. If we can speed up the rate at which people consume your content, we don't have to wait 12 months anymore. We can get that done in in a day. Like I've discovered somebody, binged them for a few hours and bought an expansive thing within 24 hours. That's happened like 3 times in the last year. I'm a good buyer, but also the psychology works. So don't worry about how much time they're on your list. Worry about how much time they're spending on your brand and increase that. Give them useful stuff they can consume and they'll make their decision pretty damn quick that I want to work with you. Hopefully that helps. Whew. Okay, so I got a bunch of questions. Hopefully that helps. There's one more. What's this? All right. Frank, no question, it says.
My name is Frank. I don't coach anyone.
Dude, it's Frank Kern. I fucking love Frank Kern. Frank and Evan were my intros to this world. Dude, I cannot believe this is. I got goosebumps.
No one should listen to me. I don't think I have any significant problems. And I just wanted to acknowledge you, sir, for being such an exceptional husband and father. I've heard about you. I know you have a lot of children.
6.
And you somehow find time to build that business and take great care of yourself and really help a lot of people. And from everything I've read in your content and your emails and stuff, you seem like a hell of a good dad. So that's all I got. That's all I wanted to say. Glad to see you're doing well. Take it easy.
Oh, man. That's really kind. Frank, thank you. I don't know what to say. I've got chills. Frank Kern, 9th worst surfer in California. Hell of a dude. I hope I get to meet you one day. I appreciate that so very much. Thanks, guys.